Hey guys, welcome to Cypress Nation. Today we're going to be taking a look at our top tips for winterizing your vehicle.
Winter's coming.
Alright guys, so today we're going to be going over our top winterization tips for your vehicle. Now, getting your vehicle ready for winter can be expensive and time consuming, but it is worth it, and you just need to make sure that you plan ahead for this. Without further ado, here's our top tips for winterizing your vehicle. First tip is tires. So winter tires are super important for your vehicle. Now, they can be a little bit pricey, but there is a good range on products available. But the fact of the matter is that they're just better for you in the wintertime. You can get going and you can get up to speed to move out of the way of something with four-wheel drive or with all-wheel drive. But really the best thing you can do for making sure you have the traction you need in winter driving on the highway, in town, on a hill, wherever, is making sure you have good winter tires. When it comes to winter tires, is you want to make sure that you want to get what you can afford. Obviously, we're not encouraging everyone to go out there and spend the most amount of money they can on winter tires, but you want to make sure you're getting some from a pretty good source, and you want to make sure that, okay, I made a mistake ages ago, and I just bought winter tires instead of buying winter tires and steel rims. So the thing about winter tires and just putting them on and off the same rims all the time, that's what I did for a couple of years, is that really wears out the inner part of your tire, and it actually eventually started splitting and cracking, and I couldn't fit them on the tire anymore. So they actually wore up faster than if I would have just gotten some cheap steel rims to throw the tires on, to leave them in the shed over the summer and then put them back on in the winter. So in the long run, don't cheap out on it entirely. Make sure you get a proper setup to make sure that those tires are going to last. Now, when you have tires, one of the things you're going to want to make sure that you're doing is that you get new tires every about 4, 5, 6 years, because your tires age. All right. So even if you still have good tread on them, your tire sitting in the shed for over the summer and it's not getting used much, it's still going to have tons of tread, of course. But the thing is that rubber still ages, and with that age, it becomes more stiff and it becomes less resistant to wear, and they will just not be as good for stopping as making sure that you still have good tires. So you want to make sure that they are still just a couple years old. Once you're getting about 6 years old or so, you want to make sure you get some new tires, even if they do still look good. Fluids.
Next tip is fluids. Now, make sure when winter is coming, you get your oil change done, everything is topped up to where it should be, but also checking your antifreeze and making sure that it's rated for minus 45 or whatever the manufacturer says it should be at.
You want to make sure you got the proper mix in. You don't want to just be running water when it's any degree below zero. Okay, it's just not going to be a good scenario. Now, one of the things you do want to do is make sure that you have good quality oil, and especially oil for your engine, because when it comes to using your block heater, you're plugging it in, you're trying to maximize the life of your vehicle. If you forget to plug your block heater in, is it the end of the world? No, of course not. It might make it a little bit harder for your battery and for your engine to start in the morning. It just gets a harder start, and the more you do that, the harder it's going to be on your engine. You're going to see more engine wear, and it's just going to wear your engine out faster. You're going to see you'll see it break down sooner, and that life of your engine is just not going to last as long as you want it or maybe need it to. So, one of the really good resources is we actually have a video here. So check that video out if you want to see a good comparison on the different types of oil. Well, different brands really. It's kind of a video about oil quality, and it's a good indication to see what oil does when it gets cold. And so a good recommendation from us is to get synthetic oil in your vehicle for winter. You don't have to run it any other time, just run it for winter, because synthetic oils don't react as much to the cold. So they tend to maintain their viscosity even in extreme temperatures, rather than becoming thick like molasses. And that consistency is going to be good for your vehicle in the long run.
Next tip.
Now, our last tip here for our winter driving preparation is going to be, you want to get yourself an emergency kit. All right. Now, do you have to get a nice little tidy backpack or buy one of those ones off of Amazon? No, don't do that. It's a waste of your money. What you want to do is, even if you have like just a little bag, grocery bag, tote bag, whatever you have that's lying around, you don't really use, just throw a bunch of stuff in this bag, and this could save your life in the wintertime, because when it comes down to it, you want to winter prep your vehicle, but the whole point of that is making sure that you're safe on the roads in winter. And when an emergency comes up, if you're faced with blinding snow, or heaven forbid you've hit a spot of ice and you run yourself off the road, that you can make sure that you're okay until help gets there. All right. And so we're going to be going over a couple things that you might want to put in an emergency kit of your own. And we're going to start with water and food supplies. So you want to make sure you have enough fluids. And yes, the water bottles will freeze if you leave them in your car. But if you maintain heat, you can still help them to thaw out. But the main thing you're going to want to make sure is just you need some food. You don't need anything gourmet. You don't need anything fancy. Just throw a box of granola bars in there. And you can call yourself good to go. And you'll be able to do pretty well off of that for a while.
You pretty much just want some non-perishable food that you can eat, not having to worry about cooking it or anything like that. That you think will last well and
will also freeze well,
hold up against the cold. You also want to have things such as a lighter or a flashlight, as well as candles, booster pack maybe if your vehicle's okay but can't start.
Yeah, I think more than candles. So one of the things you're really going to want is make sure you have sleeping bags or blankets or jackets, gloves, making sure you have extra things hanging around that can keep you warm so that, one, you can go back around behind your vehicle if you get buried in snow, so you can dig out your exhaust so that you're not going to be suffocating yourself when you have to turn the vehicle on every now and then to maintain the heat in your vehicle, because no one wants to suffocate in their car on the side of the road. It's bad.
Yeah, so make sure you have a shovel, I guess, for that, and maybe some kitty litter or
that can be a big help for getting
sand.
out of spots.
Right.
Yeah.
Some other things.
Your car should obviously have a radio in it, but if that's not working, make sure you have a little handheld radio in there. Make sure you have a car charger for your phone so you can contact people, and so you can stay up to date on the latest information. Now, one of the last things is, especially if you just haven't just pulled off to the side, but you've actually been run off the road because you slipped off the road for whatever reason, is you want to make sure you know where your tow points are. Now, your tow points of your vehicle should be located in the owner's manual, but rather than asking you to memorize them or to have to go and dig through the owner's manual every time, a great idea can be to open the owner's manual, go to that page, get your phone out or get a camera out, take a picture of where they are, take a picture of where they are on the back of your vehicle when it's clear out, and then slip those pictures into your emergency kit. Because that way you can just go take a quick look and say, oh, okay, so I just have to go in, and if I need to get a tow out, I can just hook the cables up to this spot or this spot or this spot. And that way you're not going to hook it onto the plastic bumpers that are on most vehicles these days. You're not going to just rip that out. Instead, you're actually going to connect it to a secure point, and you're going to be able to pull your vehicle out without damaging it.
Right. A lot of people who are going to help you, I mean, I go around with my truck and help people all the time with winter. It's important to find out where those structural points are that you can pull, and make sure that they have the proper gear to pull you out with, so that your vehicle, if it's not damaged, doesn't get damaged being pulled or yanked out.
And the last thing you're going to want to include in there is a first aid kit. Bandages, splints, Tylenol, Advil. Just make sure you have any pain medication in there. Anything that you might need over a longer period of time. Some people have medications they need to take. And so you want to make sure you have just a little supply of that on hand just in case.
Thanks, guys, for watching today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you have any comments about what you would add to your winter kit, please leave that in the comments down below. We'd be interested to see what else you guys have to recommend for winter tips on preparing your vehicle for the winter that's coming up.
Yeah, and if you have anything for your winter kit that can be a really good idea that we've missed, make sure you put that in the comments below, because that might actually save someone's life someday.
Yeah.
But anyway,
don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching Cypress Nation.